Let's talk about the relationship between the feet, to the knees, to the hips, to the spine, to the scapula, to the ribs when we inhale, to the external rotation of the humerus. Okay, this is all linked. Inhalation is paired with elevation of the ribs, which pairs nicely with the thoracic extension. So I want flared ribs. That's my brace in my bench press. I want flared ribs. My brace in my squat and deadlift, I want to put my ribs down. Okay, so I want flared ribs here. Now what happens? So inhalation is paired with that. Exhalation, my ribs go down. When my ribs go down, maybe a millimeter, my scapula protracts. The problem with laying on a bench press when you want your scapulas in a certain position is you're unable to move them freely because you are laying on that bench with a heavy weight in your hands. And that locks your scapulas in a position where they don't move freely, which is why I want to start my bench press with my scapulas set in the position that I want them to be in for the whole movement. So when I exhale slightly, and this is something that you can notice with people who breathe through their high rep sets, they breathe through it and they're doing high reps, is every repetition they take their scapula a little bit more into protraction. And something that you can measure is the bar height. Every repetition gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay, so that's taking the scapulas further out of position, right? So for me, there's a few things that I can do to prevent that from happening. One is hold my breath to maintain that position. I want them locked in as hard as possible. The next thing I do is I don't completely lock out my bench press, if you've noticed, because that complete lockout horizontally adducts my humerus slightly to the position where my scapula wants to follow into protraction a little bit. And I don't want it in any protraction. So whenever I'm doing a high rep set, it's a partial. It's like a 90% press, because I know if I do lock out every single rep, it takes my scapulas into a little bit more protraction, and I can't retract it when I bring that bar back down to my chest. When I bring a barbell down to my chest, my scapulas want to be fully retracted. If they're not, that's how I look. Can you see that shoulder doesn't look right? That's my scapulas trying to be here. That's where they want to be, is retracted here, so that I can support that whole humerus complex with the barbell on my chest with a heavy load. Does that make sense? Let's do it again. Breathing, 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 breathing. Keep going. Lay down, slide back, breathing, grab the bar, feet into position, heels down, breathing, 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 slide into position, breathing, 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 breathing. Now his cue to get me to unrack. He held his breath, and that's when I know he had his beard, so I couldn't really see. But usually I go, unless he was doing nasal breathing, and I couldn't see. But quite often, that's my cue to unrack. We don't say 1, 2, 3, go, because that's exhale, 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 which is the whole mechanism that I'm trying to avoid. Does that make sense? I want inhale. And people say, what if I can't hold my breath for that long? Well, then breathe, I guess.